And Olympic champion Brian Boitano skates and now cooks for a living too. He has fond memories of family dinners at his favorite place on the Wharf in San Francisco. Opened in 1946 with a small counter and 6 stools, it's now 3 times the size. But it's still owned by the same family and still serving up fresh seafood. You'll find it all at Pompey's Grotto.
Our philosophy is to serve the freshest, best quality seafood we can, but to keep it at an affordable price. I'm Nancy Pompei Conyers, and the name of my restaurant is Pompey's Grotto. My mother and father opened Pompey's Grotto in 1946. My grandfather, my father's father, was a fisherman. When he retired, he kind of ran the crab stand out front, and we've kept this going in the family.
My name is Vincenzo, and everything I do here is fresh. Everything is cooked to order. Every day I go to the fish market. Every day I'm just a little bit for the day. I love pasta, but I have to make sure that the pasta that I like is got to be for Americans also. So we prepare pastas for Italians that the Americans would not eat. It will be like garlic and oil. They will be very powerful. They like a lot of spices. For Italian tourists, I have an Italian menu because I know exactly how they will eat.
Being in Fisherman's Wharf, most of our customers are tourists, but we have a very loyal local clientele. We're kind of known as the place where the locals eat. I think my grandfather would be tickled by all this, and I know he would be so very proud.
Talk to me about this restaurant because you have a rich sort of family history there, don't you?
Huge. I mean, my parents used to date there when they first met in San Francisco, so it's like nostalgia for me. Right. And they used to bring all the kids there, pile them in the car when we moved to the South Bay, bring up to San Francisco, and we would eat at Pompei. So it's got a real special place in my heart because it was, honestly, it's probably my mom and dad's favorite restaurant in San Francisco. And
is there a special dish that you have that you get every time you go?
You know what? I cook 4 or 5 times a week when I'm home, so sometimes I just don't get to the grocery store and I don't feel like cooking. I just want something that's well prepared, fresh, and it doesn't break the calorie bubble that some restaurant foods do with hidden calories. So I just get a simple piece of grilled fish, has a nice vegetable on the side, and a potato. And that's usually how I roll when I go into the restaurant. And they got tons of sourdough bread, which is really, really amazing.
And clam chowder. I mean, we often have discussions on this show about clam chowder.
I don't order clam chowder when I go to restaurants. I ordered it specifically because I thought, you know, this has got to be something extraordinary because it's on the Wharf. I would have liked it a little bit thicker, but I like thickening it by pureeing the potato in it to make it thick rather than add cream. But it was tasty. It was, you know, what I expected.
I had the Manhattan clam chowder. I've never had that before, and so I liked it. I liked it. It was fresh. It was like it's almost like a vegetable soup, and I really like the tomato broth as well. So it's I wanted to try something outside of the box, what I usually don't order, and I liked it. I liked it.
And then you get the classic wedge salad, right?
Oh, it's great, actually.
I love those wedge salads.
It was so fresh, crisp bacon. It was one of my favorite things. I know that sounds silly because it was a salad, but it was great.
I had the soul sandwich. I'm a big fan, and I hate to admit this out loud, but I haven't eaten there in a really long time, of McDonald's, the fish fillet. So if I can find somebody to replicate it in more of a gourmet style, I'm all about it. So I was going for the soul sandwich for that reason. The tartar sauce, the fresh grilled bread from down the way, and it was lightly breaded, but I found the breading a little bit bland. And the one thing is that the fish did taste fresh, but it was a disservice to the soul to have it breaded in something so bland, and the tartar sauce was a little bit on the sweeter side. But I just wanted to try it to see if I could find a place to have that gourmet fish fillet.
I had crab cake appetizers, and I love crab cakes. The positive I'll say is that there was tons of fresh lump crab. The negative was it kind of seemed melted and mushy, which I didn't love, but it was fresh. I then had the Fisherman stew, and I love that kind of thing.
Which is their signature dish.
I love just diving into a bowl of seafood. And I was disappointed, unfortunately.
So what were you disappointed? I got the Fisherman stew as well, one of the times that I went there.
I was waiting for this exuberant burst of tomato and garlic and basil from the sauce as it was described on the menu, and it wasn't there. There was a lack of that flavor. It was sad.
Brian, how are you going to make Jennifer happy?
I know.
When you've had the fisherman stew, because obviously you've had it over the years, what do you find about the fisherman stew?
I actually ordered it on this last trip because usually, like I say, I stick with the clean, just
piece of
fillet
fish
of fish. Yeah, and I had the fisherman's too, and I thought the broth was really good, really tasty. I liked the fish in it. I mean, it was good.
It was very clean. Yeah. To your point of wanting something super clean, I guess I was looking for a little bit stronger. Exactly, more pungent.
Let's talk about the owners, because they've had this place, the Pompei family, for a long time. Yeah. And it really is a family-owned place.
You know, it is.
They're in the kitchen, they're in the front of the house.
You know, it's got this old Fisherman's Wharf charm. It's like red and white checkered tablecloths. It reminds me of old San Francisco, and I like that.
The staff and the family members that were there, they were amazing. I wanted to love what I ordered because of them. Right. The ambiance, it was exactly how you described it. It does have a nostalgic feel. You walk in and you know that this is family owned. Right. And for that, I enjoyed it.
And what about drinks?
I had a bottle of Vermentino, because I'm Ligurian, and
Ligurian. Of course, you need a little Vermentino.
Exactly.
The crisp white wine.
You can't go, you know, it's drinkable. It's drinkable stuff.
Well, and I like that you said I had a bottle of Vermentino. My guests have no idea what he had, but I had a bottle of Vermentino. Exactly. All right, Brian, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us.
All right, so clean, well-prepared, fresh, tons of gooey sourdough bread, and old Fisherman's Wharf charm. That's what I see.
And Nicole?
I don't ever feel the need to go back down there. I would say that it's the restaurant that has the most variety of fresh fish that I've seen in the San Francisco Bay Area, as far as my knowledge goes. But it's, you know, it's in an area that's very touristy. I wouldn't typically go down there. There's loads of fantastic restaurants in the city that I prefer to, you know, explore.
Okay. And Jennifer?
You know, it was a welcoming environment, especially when you bring a baby and, you know, he threw food all over the floor. They could care less. Unfortunately, I was disappointed with the food.
All right, if you would like to try Pompei's Grotto, it's on Jefferson at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and the telephone number is 415-776-9265. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab for dinner without drinks is around $30.